Welcome in, boys and gals. It's time. It's week 8. We're here. It starts Sunday, we'll call it. What do we go with? Seems like a good lingo to start off a good Sunday morning for. It is week 8. Injuries galore. Players galore. Some new scenery. We've got a full slate. That's always exciting, helping us through some of these injuries. No worries in the bye week category this week. But that will make some of those decisions a little bit harder. So I'm here to talk you off the ledge. That's what I'm here for. So obviously, drop those questions in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. I'll pull them up. If you're watching on X, you can also drop that into the comments. I should be able to pull those up as well. If you're happening to be watching and or happen to have seen the question get dropped in my earlier thread on Twitter, I will also go through those as well. So some of those questions won't get pulled up. So if I'm just talking into oblivion about a question that's not on the screen, that is why. Figured I should put that in there. Hasn't been in there for 8 weeks. I've never mentioned it. So people are probably like, who the hell is this guy talking to? And that's who I'm talking to. Drop a thread usually at 9 a.m. to let people get some of those questions in there a little bit earlier. I try to answer them before I get on. And then if I don't, they get brought up here. So that's what we're here for. But either way, we've got a lot to dive into. We've got some players likely playing. We've got a quarterback returning off of IR that should hopefully improve maybe 4 fantasy assets for us this week in a prime matchup against Arizona. In case you didn't know what I'm talking about Tua. I don't know if Tua is always the answer for your quarterback position, but those receivers hopefully do return to some fantasy relevance because a lot of those guys were drafted early. Some by yours truly. So the hope is there. Let's hopefully get that this week from them. So without further ado, enough of me rambling on about nonsense. Let's get to your guys' questions. That's what you're all here for. So I'm going to start off again. I'm going to rip them off of that thread real quick. I got some from over an hour ago, so we got to catch up on those. Row me on X, a little help here. Start to Pop Douglas, Dowdle, Tillman, Bateman. And then start to Mooney, Chase, Brown, Keenan, Allen, and Hopkins. So for that first one, I'm going to go Tillman and Bateman. I'm going to stay in that same game. I think that game, a little AFC North rivalry there. Always a fun time back and forth a little bit there. The Browns can pass on Baltimore. They should be able to. Let's rephrase that. Jameis Winston, we all know what he's all about. That's a gunslinging boy right there. So we're going to be throwing all over the yard. So I really like Cedric Tillman this week. Rashad Bateman as well. I mean, he's had himself a fair good couple weeks here. Slowly but surely, that quote-unquote breakout question mark has been coming for Rashad Bateman this year. Key to that, he's staying on the field. That's part of the issue there that has been for him for the past few seasons. The second one here for you, roll me, is Mooney. I like the spot against Tampa Bay there for him. I think that could be another back and forth-ish type of game. I think, though, Atlanta may be able to handle them pretty well. I know there's some Jalen McMillan hype, but I love Jalen McMillan all in his right, but not as the guy. Not totally on that train just yet. Ranking him cautiously. We'll see how that goes. If he comes out and proves me wrong, I'm all in. I love me some Jalen McMillan, but for the time being, going to be waiting a little bit there. But for row me, it's going to be Mooney and Allen. I like Allen against Washington. Rumors are that Jaden Daniels might play. Pretty much blows my mind. To be honest, I have him ranked lowly because, again, another one that it blows my mind that he's good playing. But we'll see. All right, let's jump into those questions we're getting here right now so that you guys don't have to wait too long. Rachel, good morning. We're in here nice, bright, and early, 11 a.m. Raheem Mostert or Bucky Irving. And girls one for me, Dearness Johnson, Antonio Gibson, Pierre Strong. Whatever, girls, Rachel. These players can play. Just need their opportunity. We'll be all right. No worries. I'm going Mostert over Irving. I like the spot against Arizona. I still think that Mostert is going to be somewhat the guy. I've thought that all offseason. I know it hasn't really happened, but, not much has happened in Miami since the start of the season. So hopefully this week we kind of see what we all projected this offense to look like. And I think Raheem Mostert still has a big role in that offense. So I'm going to go with Mostert over Irving. Irving is in a yuck mess. We can all argue whether he's the most talented or not most talented in that backfield. But the truth is opportunity and points, and Irving is not being given the passing down work. So to me, still Rachaad White in any type of PPR format is the better start. Just because, he's inefficient on the ground, but he's still getting those easy points, those easy dump-off passes, which will likely come now without Godwin and Evans. I could see Rashad White playing a little bit more in that passing game work. So I like Mostert. And then the gross one is not that gross. I like Ernest Johnson a lot this week. The game script's probably going to lean to him more than Tank Bigsby. We've seen that in the absence of Travis Etienne. When the Jaguars are down, they like Ernest Johnson a little bit better pass catcher, probably a little bit better pass blocker as well, a little bit more of that veteran. I think that Ernest Johnson could have a decent day for you there. I'm not going to say he's going to win you your week, but I definitely could see valuable flex play there for you, Rachel, in Ernest Johnson. Rocky, Sloan, Harrison, or Waddle. I'm going Waddle. It's risky. We don't know what we're going to get out of this Miami Dolphins, but Tua really was on IR because of the concussion. I don't think it took him that long to recover from the concussion. I think they kind of just were like, all right, let's shut this down. This has been one of now many concussions, so let's give him a chance to kind of, where's he going? What's it going on? And I think they said that kind of from the beginning. So I expect Waddle to be Tua to be pretty fully healthy and be able to run this offense and execute it to a T. So I'm going to go with Waddle. Harrison it's just been a mess. Whether it's Kyler or Harrison, it's not as great as we had hoped for there from Marvin Harrison early on. Not giving up on him yet, but I still think Waddle's the safer start this week, Rocky, and a good matchup. Caleb Williams or CJ Stroud. I'm going Caleb Williams. Again, it's a team that can get passed on very easily in Washington. The run game, they've been pretty solid against. So I do anticipate this game to be a little bit high scoring, depending on if Jaden Daniels plays or not. And I think that Caleb will have himself a pretty good day throwing to that trio of receivers. Patrick G. Mafia, Rashad White, Stevenson, Madison, Shakir, non-PPR. Okay, non-PPR definitely hurts us a little bit here from this group. I'm probably going to go Rashad White still. It's really close between him and Shakir. I know it's non-PPR, so you're really shooting touchdowns, but I feel like those two have the most likelihood to find the end zone at least once. Now, Rashad White may not be on the ground, but I do think he could find it through the air. That's going to be, I think, a pretty good back-and-forth game, even without the weapons there for Baker. So I lean a little bit to Rashad White, but I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to go Khalil Shakir, who I think also could have a nice game against Seattle and what should be a shootout as well up in Seattle today with the Bills. Laporta or Kraft. I'm going to go Laporta. The volume's likely to be there a little bit more for Laporta. No Jamison Williams. Tennessee can get passed on a little bit. Their secondary is pretty good, but it's easier on the inside than it is on the outside. So I think Laporta would be kind of the matchup there for Jared Goff to exploit this week. As the run defense is also pretty solid. So I'm going to go with Laporta with no Jamison Williams there. Oh, pick two with your first question. There we go. All right. Sorry, I didn't get that part out. Guess I should read in advance, right, Patrick? Reading, overrated. Yeah. So I guess it'd be Rashad White and Khalil Shakir would be my two for you there, Patrick. Thoughts on Mark Andrews? Yeah, he paving me off. That's what's happened. AAR Bear. I mean, this week it's okay. It isn't going to be great, but I mean, he's sneakily becoming a tight end one again. So I have him right on the border. I think you're not doing a start to show you your rankings pulled up in front of you, right? Amateur hour. No. Let's see here. Where do I have him? Just double checking because I've moved some stuff around. 15. Yes, I have him down a little bit this week, right on the cusp there. He's in that same territory as Laporta, Fant, Kraft, like just outside the top 12. Not really a huge volume play, but if they find the end zone, they're gonna have a good day. Which I do think could happen against Cleveland for him. So it's solid. It would really, again, though, you're talking to Baron Laceland when we're talking tight end. So who's really that much better? Let's be honest. David, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Katie, Debo, or nobody. Just joke. Just dropped it in here a second. Camara. I'm going to go Debo Samuel here. The injury reporting this year has been trash, let's be honest. Both these guys kind of dealing with an injury of some sort. I don't know which or who or what. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they stubbed their toe. I don't really know anymore. But there's not many playmakers available for the 49ers, and if Devo's up, you got to anticipate that he's at least going to play, half the game. Would be my guess. I like the spot. I think if he is actually healthy, like last week was like an illness, and yes, he was hospitalized, but you go to the hospital to get better, and they released him, so I'm assuming he's better. Like, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But yeah, I would lean towards Debo here. I think that he's going to have the better day of the two. Boz, tough call with 4 running backs in PPR. Obvious starts are Gibbs and Mixon. But which running back do I flex? Jonathan Taylor. Ooh, that is tough. Gibbs and Mixon, I agree with. Mixon's my running back too, and he smashed against Indianapolis last time, and I don't expect much different this week. Gibbs is a little dicier against Tennessee, but I think if I'm playing either the Detroit backs, I think Gibbs is probably your safer bet. Yeah, I have Taylor ranked higher, Boz. With how bad Anthony Richardson's been struggling, I could anticipate a lot of Jonathan Taylor. And Gibson, then maybe some Richardson on the ground. I expect Richardson probably to steal the goal line touches this week. That would be my guess if I'm just taking an educated math science approach. It's Richardson. I'm not going to get too crazy into why on here, but I'm just going to say Richardson just seems like it. He's had a good history against Houston in the past. So Javante's in a good spot, but I'm afraid of Sean Payton. Let's be honest. What if some of Jaleel McLaughlin shows up? They even wanted to use him last week. They were trying to get McLaughlin. They were trying to get Estimate going. They just couldn't. So I still think this is a 3-man backfield, but it is a really good spot for Javante, and it's juicy. So, like I said, I have Taylor. Let's just give you where they're at and let you decide. Taylor's at 13. Javante's at 19, and I mean, you're talking 3 or 4 points max there in my projection. So, yeah, it's like a coin flip. I get it. I'd maybe go Javante. Like, I mean, Taylor's coming off an injury. It's a high ankle. Yeah, maybe go Javante. I'm convincing myself here, boss. Let's go Javante. Let's do it. Let's ride. I have Javante in a lot of spots, so let's both dive in at first. YOLO. Murray at 1, or see if Daniels plays at 4. If I end up, I'd have to pivot to Nix or Russell Wilson. Nix isn't a bad pivot. Kind of leading off of that last question, I do anticipate a lot of the run game. So I don't know how much Nix is going to put up fantasy-wise. I don't know if he even throws a touchdown, to be honest. I'd probably play Kyler Murray, truthfully. I find it hard to believe Daniels is playing. He was like doubtful and didn't practice all week. Maybe, Caleb Williams, that report of Caleb Williams sending, something there, or whether that's fake or real, who knows. But yeah, I maybe Murray, maybe Daniels plays, but I'd still leery. So I would probably go Kyler Murray for you there. Just, you got to mitigate the variance and the risk, truthfully. That's what this game's about, truthfully. And there's luck built into it, if you want to call it that, but you're just really calling luck variance, and the variance you want to eliminate. So playing the higher ranked players usually helps you. Yes, every week it's not going to work out, but over the long run, it tends to work out. So I'm just going to go with Murray this week and hope for the best. I mean, he's been pretty solid fantasy-wise. Real life-wise, and we'll argue that a different day. David, sit 2 from James Cook, Bigsby, Tracy, McConkey, McLaurin, and Myers. So let me drop this banner because it will help me in this question here. Go back. What time do the Chargers play again? I am a little 4:05. Okay, so what I would probably say is I'm going to sit Tracy. I don't like the spot against Pittsburgh that much. I would play Cook and Bigsby. And then it would be between McLaurin and I really like Terry McLaurin if Daniels plays. Let's get there. That's what I'm trying to just decipher in my head while I sit here in slight silence. But I lean towards McConkey being a start for sure. So I would probably sit Myers, like he's my lowest ranked player. So yeah, so probably Tracy and Myers, those are the 2 lowest ranked of those groupings for me. Rocky, that's Jordan Mason, pretty easily. Top 12 guy, for sure. Morning, James. Another week, another challenge. I picked up Taysom. Do I like him over Noah Fant this week? I also need to replace T. Higgins if he's out. Tyrone Tracy, Yoshevitz, Bateman, or Tillman. I like Fant over Taysom. I mean, Taysom Hill's probably going to score 2 touchdowns because I said that. But the Bills are leaky to tight ends. This could be a spot if DK doesn't play, which is more than likely. So I would probably play Fant this week. And then replacing T. Higgins, I would start Tillman for sure. James. I like Tillman this week. Carter Mills, full PPR. Kamara, Dobbins. I'm in on it. A little bit less than the rest of the people over at FTN. He's kind of a mixed bag. I got a couple guys having him inside the top 10. I have him a fringe top 10 guy, and then some players later in the draft. The issue with Dobbins is it's safe. He's a top 20 option more than likely, just with his groundwork to begin with. The issue will be whether he gets a touchdown or not. That puts him in the top 10. Kamara is battling some injuries back and forth. We've seen some down weeks from him. Don't love it with Spencer Rattler. So I'm going to go Dobbins there for you, Carter. You're welcome, Pat. Pick 2 for reset season. Bigsby, Mason, Chubb, or Irving. Mason for sure. He's a lock. The rest, it's a pick your poison, I guess. I like Tank Bigsby. The issue with Tank Bigsby is the game script. Like, what are we going to get here? If this is a close enough game, Bigsby will be involved. If they fall down early, he's toast. It's going to be Dearness Johnson the whole way, which I anticipate a little bit more Dearness Johnson than Tank Bigsby today. Maybe the Jaguars surprise me. Unlikely, but maybe. So Mason's a lock. Bigsby is technically my next highest ranked player. So I would probably roll him. Chubb, I don't really want anything to do with. Like last week, yeah, it was great to see him on the field. Yes, he scored, but like Baltimore's a whole different animal when it's talking about on the ground, divisional rival. Like his yards per carry and explosiveness, like it was there-ish, but like not. So not overly in on Chubb. Irving battling an injury, meh. So I think your best likelihood for the most points is Mason and Bigsby there for you. Ivan, hello. Reed, DJ Moore, Flowers, Debo, choose 2. Oh, that's a rough choice. See, everybody's always like, ooh, embarrassment of riches, love those. No, sometimes it's just easier to have like these are my guys. Because this is a top, like, I mean, they're all top 20. Literally, they're all top 20 players this week at their position. Like, best of luck. Like, I'm gonna pick somebody wrong, I'm telling you right now, Ivan, I'm telling you. Reed for sure. He's a top 5 guy for me, and I personally like DJ Moore. That's where I'm at. Both those guys are in my top 10. I'm a little bit higher on DJ Moore than the rest. I know he's had his ups and downs, but I do think this is a good spot against Washington. We've seen him exploit Washington in the past. Yes, it was with Justin Fields and less competition for targets, but I still like DJ Moore. So I'm going to go Reed and DJ Moore here for you. My third option in the row would be Deebo Samuel if you don't like DJ Moore as much as I do. Jord, Worthy or Myers? Pick your poison. I would go Worthy. More upside. Jacoby Myers doesn't excite me that much. Would you drop Mooney for Pop Douglas? Negative, Quincy. Keep Darnell Mooney. It's coming. They're coming. Today is probably one of the days that he's going to have a big week. Pop Douglas is a PPR guy. It's not overly exciting for him. Kale, what's up? What's up? Juan, Chase Brown or Nick Chubb? Chase Brown. Hold off on Nick Chubb still. We're still got a little bit until we're going to be comfortable starting Nick Chubb. He's a flex play, but I still like Chase Brown a little bit more in that spot. Full PPR running back pick 2: Hunt, Taylor, Brian Robinson, Chase Brown. Kareem Hunt's a lock for me at this point in time. Moving forward, just part of the Chiefs offense. Doesn't need to have a good yards per carry. He's going to score touchdowns. Let's be honest. So I'm in on Kareem Hunt there, and then I'd probably roll out Taylor. I like Jonathan Taylor. Close with Brian Robinson, but I'd go JT this week. I like him against Houston. Juan, Keenan Allen, or JSN? JSN for me there. No DK Metcalf likely. Easier against the Bills on the interior of the defense than the outside. So Lockett seems like the likely victim to have the least amount of points of this grouping. And I don't think Jake Bobo will see many targets. I don't think he's athletic enough to, say, beat off of Russell Douglas or Christian Benford. So I'm going to stay with JSN there for you, Juan. Miscalculated. As usual, it's all right, David. Math's hard. I'm I do it all the time. Except I do it usually on a show, live in front of, 15 people. So, don't feel bad. I got to bench one more, McConkey, McLaurin, or Bigsby. I would personally bench Bigsby. I'm not super in on him this week. I mean, is there upside? Sure. Could he maybe find the end zone? Sure. Anything's possible. But I just don't really anticipate that happening this week. So I would probably go McConkey and McLaurin. McLaurin's risky, though, too. Marcus Mariota doesn't really excite me against the Bears. So, yeah. Flip a coin between McLaurin and Bigsby. Or pick which one you're feeling. That's what I would do, David. Use your gut between McLaurin and Bigsby. Play McConkey, though, for sure. Joko McBride at tight end, thinking of flexing the other over Chubb, Hopkins, Tillman, or Irving. I would. Yeah. Seems smart to me. I'd play both of them, truthfully. Chubb doesn't excite me. Hopkins, I'm in a wait-and-see pattern. Irving, meh. And then Tillman is fun. But I think when you're talking about these two, the Joko McBride, I'd definitely be playing them. Camille, half-point PPR, pick one running back and two flexes. Stevenson, Chubba, Warren, Pickens, Douglas, Pittman, Wicks, Bateman. It's a list. Stevenson at running back for me. Chubba, Bryce Young effect. Jalen Warren's, meh. The two flexes, I would probably go Pickens. I mean, Russ is going to feed him. And then I would go Pickens and Bateman. Pickens and Bateman be my play. The AFC North here at the receiver position, flex position. Pickens and Bateman for me. You're welcome, as always. Always welcome. Everybody's welcome. Nick Robinson, Purdy, or Daniels if he plays. You can make that pivot, I do believe, right? Chiefs games later. All right, hold on. Let's get there. Yeah, they're both at the same time. I'd probably play Brock. I'd play Daniels if he plays. My rankings aren't going to reflect it because I still don't think Daniels plays. But, yeah, I would probably go Daniels over Purdy if he plays. Murray, Herbert, or Wilson. I think Herbert is the only possible alternative. I'd play Kyler Murray. Don't worry about the alternative. Unless you need more than one, James. But Kyler Murray for me. All right. Back to my older questions. Kim, PPR, high ceiling, Bigsby, Dobbs, or Flowers in the flex. Murray or Mahomes. I would probably go Dobbs and Murray there for you, Kim. Lex Luthor, Tank Dell, Dubes, McLaurin, pick 2. Chase Brown, Rico Dotto, Madison, pick 2. So that's Dell and Dubes. And then Brown for me and Dowdle would be my 2 for you there. Lex Luthor. Donnie Drizzle, Chris Olave, or Darnell Mooney would be Mooney. Complicated with that Spencer Rattler bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Spencer Rattler has not been there for us as much as we wanted him to be. He's a check down guy right now. It's probably going to be a decent amount of Alvin Kamara. I don't know if Olave will be uber relevant this week. Misbehaving, Purdy or Williams. I am going to go Caleb Williams there for you. Finn, quarterback, Kyler or Caleb. Eckler or Warren. At running back, flex, Higgins, Hill, or Hopkins. So I would go Caleb, Eckler, and then Higgins if he plays. We'll go Hopkins. Nick G, start 2, Dubes, JSN, Odunze, Tillman, Palmer. So I'd go JSN and Dubes there. So Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. I will take Williams for Jeff Angel. Let's see here. Bigsby or JSN at flex would be JSN. Pitts or Ferguson at tight end would be Ferguson. And then that's it for Jason on X. I like Ferguson a little bit more than Pitts this week. I think he's going to be highly involved at Dallas passing attack. And then, we've talked about Bixby a little bit here. All right, won't get too crazy. Won't keep being too redundant here. KP, PPR League, I can start to Cook, Hunt, Moore, Wilson, Higgins. So, oh boy. I'm probably going DJ Moore and Hunt here for you. KP. Corey on X, Corey D. Russo, half PPR, Bucky Irving or Lockett, Kyler or Tua. Ooh, that's tough. I think I'm going to go Irving in that situation and Kyler at quarterback for you, Corey. Courtney Swift on X, Stevenson or Keenan Allen at flex. That would be Allen for me there. Phil, pick 3, Dynasty 11, start 11 PPR with some bonus scoring. Pickens, Swift, Hunt, Reed, JSN, Devontae Smith would be Reed, Pickens, Hunt for me. Phil. Alrighty here. David, PPR start 3. Cook, Swift, Connor, Brian Robinson, Pickens, Moore, Mooney, Irving. Crazy that I'll be benching 4 of them. Yeah, that is a little bit. Yeah, that is a little tough. So I would probably go DeAndre Swift, James Cook, and Pickens. Unless that's DJ Moore. I'm assuming that's Elijah Moore, David. So if you would like to change that for me, then we can reassess. But I think it's going to be Cook, Swift, Pickens. If it's DJ Moore, just go DJ over Swift. Okay, I'll answer it. Then you're going to come back. Matthew, Bo Nix, or Geno Smith. Geno Smith for me. A lot of people like Bo Nix this week. I mean, I get it. It's Carolina. Let's be honest. But, is he going to throw a touchdown? Let's be real. He may not throw one, and we may see Javonte, Jaleel, Esme. They might all get the touchdowns. Truthfully. So I'm not totally in on Bo Nix a ton. I think he's a good, top 15, but not top 10. I've seen some people have him in the top 10. So I'll go Geno. I think Geno is more of a top 12 likely quarterback. Okay, you too. You have a great weekend as well. Much appreciated for you stopping in. Thomas Robichaud, McBride, or Njoku? Ooh, I'm going to go Njoku. I like the spot for him. I think he could be highly targeted this week. Cody Nelson, Debo, or George Pickens? Ooh, I'm going to go Debo. I have him ranked higher than Pickens, but both really strong starts. I think that Debo's going to be okay. Fully healthy. They're going to have to get him involved against Dallas. And 49ers are in a spot. They got to win some games here. So I think they will see a lot of Debo and George Kittle this week with no one else around there. Proven thus far. Ben Ridgway, Rashad White, or JSN? I'd go White. The volume. I think that he's still going to be highly enticingly used there. Josh Echel on X, D-Hop, or McMillan? I'd go DeAndre Hopkins there. It's close, but I'd go Hopkins. Until I see it fully as the lead guy from McMillan, I'm not in. Nobody really agrees. Maybe some people agree with me. I don't know. But I also think McMillan will end up being outside just based on who's left for them. Sterling Shepard is a career slot guy. He's going to play inside. A lot of people want to argue with me. Go ahead. Have fun. We'll have a good day. We'll see today. I think McMillan's forced outside with Trey Palmer, which he can do, but isn't his best. Scouting him and coming into the league, I thought he was a perfect Chris Godwin replacement. I agree with you. I will wholeheartedly 100% agree with you. But until Mike Evans is back, I don't know if McMillan can be the guy. I mean, Just doesn't seem like it to me. So I think McMillan may be a huge disappointment today for a lot of people, truthfully. If I recommend to start him, you're in a tough spot. So Sterling Pierce, pick 2, Douglas, Yoshevitz, Noah Fant, Bucky Irving. I'd go Douglas and Yoshevitz if T misses. If not, where are we at here? 11:30. Some of the inactives might be coming out soon. I'll have to check that to see if T. Oh, Higgins is out. Oh, see, look at that, David. See, I don't. Busy pulling up these threads. I can't see if he's totally out. For Chase, better or worse? Better. Yeah, much better. I mean, Higgins draws some coverage, but like Chase still earns all the respect. Let's be honest. That's why Higgins eats when Chase is out there. It's the same thing with Marvin Harrison. Like Harrison isn't seeing a ton of targets because Kyler Murray's afraid to throw to him in double coverage. He's just getting double covered. Whether the production's there or not, you're respecting the talent, and at the NFL level, they do it. And Jamar Chase, it doesn't really, I think, affect him a ton with T or not. So I'm not changing much for T Higgins. Or for Chase. It's still going to be a good day for Chase. Deliveries, Dak or Baker. I'm going to go Dak. Hamish, Dell or McLaurin. I'm going to go Dell there. David Levy, Russ versus the New York Giants, or Dak versus San Fran. I'm going to go Dak. 6-point passing touchdowns. I like that for Dak. Gary, Beard, Rob, Flowers, or Rashad White. I'll go Flowers there. Full point PPR. So Grant Myers, Tua, Goff, or Kyler at quarterback would be Kyler, and Otten or Lockett for flex. I'd go Otten there. Over Lockett for Grant. Would you stream Russ, Caleb, or Tua over Daniels today? Let's see here. Flex, Odunze, Douglas, Bateman, or Vidal. I'd go Bateman. Yeah, on the bench, Flowers or Dukes. I'm going Dukes there. It's really close between him and Flowers, but I do lean to Romeo Dukes, better matchup against the Jaguars. Jason, Tony Pollard, or Chase Brown. I am going. I feel like I'm right on the fence. I'm going to check it. I don't want to give you the wrong information. 27 and 25. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Tony. I'm gonna go Chase Brown. Pollard's still scared. I know there's no Tajay Spears. It's a good match. It's a good defense in Detroit. So I'll go with Chase Brown. They did look a little bit better against the run last week in Philadelphia, but I still like Chase Brown a little bit. Full PPR, pick 1, Ramondre, Pollard, Rashad White, or Chase Brown. That one is going to be Rashad White for me there, Pig. And then quarterback, Geno, Baker, or Rodgers. I would go Geno. B, Hunt, or Mason. I would go Kareem Hunt for you there, MB. Will Turner, good morning. Kyler, Richardson, Daniels. Need one would be Kyler. Then Stevenson, Tucker, Crafter, Bucky, Irving. I would go Stevenson. Aiden, good morning. Cooper, Kareem Hunt, or Brian Thomas Jr. Kareem Hunt there for me, Aiden. Unretired and wired, pick 2 from Ridley, Tank, Bigsby, Tank, Dell. I would say Dell and Bigsby there. Although Ridley is interesting, I will say that unretired. Definitely an interesting spot for Ridley. Hopefully it's a good game matchup. It's just, they've been trying to get him the football. They just can't do that. And you're welcome, Pig. Jason Nee, Caleb, or Kyler full PPR. I'm going Caleb. I like the spot for him. Although I am recommending Kyler in spots, like it is a tough matchup against Miami. They have been pretty good against quarterbacks as of late, aka the entirety of the season. Matthew, Jalen McMillan, or Keon Coleman. I'd go McMillan here. Like the volume's going to be there for McMillan, so likely. I should rephrase that. But I think the second week in, Amari Cooper is going to be a little bit more involved. It may help Keon Coleman. It may. We may see Coleman have another good game. But I'm going to go to McMillan this week just based on the volume of that. B, need one wide receiver, full point PPR between Cooper, Diggs, Brian Thomas, one tight end between Ott and Kincaid. So I'm going to go Diggs and go Kincaid. Yeah. Diggs and Kincaid. Von, Romeo Dubes, Cedric Tillman, and he has Reed in. I'm still going Dubes. Taking the highest ranked player. I think he's got the better option. The random 731 in a must-win half PPR league. J.K. Alvin Kamara, Jordan Mason, Ken Walker III, Cooper or Dowdle. Thank you for your time. Also, if Jay Daniels is healthy, do I start him over Josh? Josh for me. And then Dobbins, Ken Walker III, and Mason. Ken, Jaden Reed, or Tony Pollard. I would go Reed. It's not just overreact to last week. Ken, I'm in on Jaden Reed this week. Ty Campbell, Ramondre, or Tanks Bigsby. I would go Tank here. Ty. T. Owens, Kareem Hunt, or DeAndre Swift. I would go Hunt there for you. If Higgins sits, Flex Tillman or McConkey, Tillman for Dynasty FF Runner. Kaiser, Nick Chubb, McMillan, and Hubbard pick 2 would be Hubbard and McMillan. Don't love either spot for you, Kaiser. All right, back over here. Sorry, everybody. Catching up on some of the questions on next. OC Flowers, JSN, Chase Brown, Debo, or Waddle pick 3. Okay, so Waddle and Debo are 2 for sure locks. And then I would probably lean JSN slightly over Flowers, OC. James, you are correct. Higgins is out. So take Higgins out of your lineups if you haven't. Chargers, Bears, or Commanders. Bears have been my go-to with streaming Chargers against the Saints. Also, other than following, how do we best support you? Appreciate the help each week. James, you are doing the best you can. So, answer your question first. That's more important. Chargers. I would stream them. Bears against the Commanders, and I mean it's a good matchup if Mariota plays. Struggle is like we don't know. Pierce Daniels may be playing, in which that case there's not going to be many points scored defensively as far as defense, special team scoring goes. So I would definitely take the Chargers. Rattler likes to just turn the ball over a little bit. We saw Denver last week be one of the better defensive special teams units. So Chargers have a good unit, so I would definitely go them. So 2 options as far as support code James. Obviously following me is greatly appreciated on X. Also, everything and anything I do is over at ftnfantasy.com. So you can head on over there if you want to subscribe there. We have different packages and different levels as far as what you would choose. There you can get access to Discord chat. You can get the rankings, basically where I'm pulling all these questions off of. You can get all the rankings and stuff like that. You get DVOA information. You get stats of. There's a ton of other information that comes with the FTN subscription too. So your choice, James. But I'm not going to shun you if you don't sign up for it. I'm just going to keep hopefully getting you that championship. James. That's our goal. Kelsey, Noah Fant with DK out or stick with Kelsey. Oh, Kelsey. Yeah, I would probably still ride Kelsey. A lot closer. Noah Fant's going to probably have a decent game. The Bills against tight ends is a good matchup. They have been struggling to cover the tight end position with Milano out. The linebackers aren't as athletic. So Noah Fant is in a good spot. But Kelsey's Kelsey. And I don't know if Hopkins helps him or hurts him. I feel like it might help him a little bit. So I would probably roll Kelsey because that time that you put him out of your lineup is going to be the week he goes for 30. I'll tell you right now, it's going to happen. So I'm just going to ride with Kelsey and ride the variance personally. Kelsey. Legere Sneed's out again. I wouldn't really worry a ton about him on Ra anyways. With Legere Sneed, Ra kind of rolls around the formations, and I don't know if they would have traveled Sneed. I don't think they typically travel a ton in Tennessee. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry. I wasn't worried about Amon Ra anyways to begin with. I think Amon Ra's issues, he just hasn't been as productive as we'd hoped. Like, I mean, he's been a solid top 10 guy, but he's not giving us like those top 5 numbers that we were hoping for. So still, David, don't worry about Amon Ra. Tucker Kraft or Andrews. Pick your poison, Matt. I'm going to go Andrews. Kraft is really touchdown dependent. Like, he's a 4 for 30 guy. Andrews has kind of been that too. But in a game that's back and forth in Cleveland, like, they're going to play him hard. Jameis is going to be slinging it. Like, it's going to be a game. So I will take Andrews. I think he's more likely to be finding the end zone this week. All right. None of your business, like the name there on X. PPR, Douglas, Ricky Purcell would be Douglas. Mason or Dobbins would be Dobbins for me. Kyler or Russ would be Kyler. Derek, I have Kamara, Taylor, Dobbins, and Connor need to sit one. Sit Connor. Derek. Scott, Pittman, Downs, Allen, Dubes start 2 would be Dubes and Allen. And then Njoku or Ferguson would be Njoku. Expecting a lot of points out of this Browns Cleveland game. Hopefully that happens. Brandon Ward, Pop Douglas, or Judy would be Judy. Man, I'm in on the Browns today, boys and girls. It's a scary thought. But it's a good matchup. I don't know. We'll see. Start 3, Neighbors, McLaurin, Javonte, Robinson. Sit McLaurin. All right, there for JT. Tua or Kyler. Trust Tua back first game. Thanks. I'd go Kyler. Tua's never been that crazy of a fantasy quarterback to begin with, even when he was passing for like 2,000 yards in a season or in a week. I don't know. How many did he have there? So I'm not overly excited to start Tua. I think Tua is the good news with Tua is that like Waddle and Hill are going to be back. So. All right, Romeo. Higgins is out. Yeah, he's out. Pick 2 for my wide receiver in flex spot. Harrison, Wilson, Najigba, and Cook. Wilson is probably my start. I like him. Him as a wide receiver too is like really great. Honestly, he'll be fine. Let's not panic with Devontae Adams too much there. Really helps Garrett Wilson a little bit. So I'm in on Garrett Wilson a little bit more than JSN. So I'm going to go Wilson and I'm going to go Cook. I know it was a down week last week, but they didn't really need him a ton. They were kind of throttling Tennessee once they got going. So I'm still in on James Cook. I think that this is a good spot for him. So for me, I'm going to go Wilson and James Cook. All right. Why God on X, trade for Debo or Debo for Bowers? Trade questions this early in the morning. Sure, we'll do that. Damian Bravo, Olave McMillan, Tillman, Dowdle, Irving, and Flex need one. I'll go Olave. Open a prayer there for you, Damian. Can't decide between two flexes, one PPR league. Bowers, White, Mostert, Hub, Bigsby, Tillman, Parasol, Bateman, and okay, not much to do there with that one. Javi, Kyler, or Russ would be Kyler. Devo starts to play John, yes. We got that one. Keenan or Chase Brown. That would be Keenan Allen for you, sleazeball. FF. Gotta roll Keenan Allen, boys and girls. Come on. It's going to be a shootout. That game's going to be great. Daniels looks like he's likely going to play. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson, or Bo Nix. Ooh, rough. Mayfield. We'll trust it a little bit. Not very. I don't have super highly ranked, but these guys. No, Bo Nix is pretty close, but yeah. Det, Allen, Gamble, Flex, Laporta, or Tillman. I'd go Tillman there. Wilson on X. I have to bench one in PPR. Achane, Gibbs, Hunt, or Mason. I would bench Achane. I know it sounds wild, but I would. I'd do it. JM, need a wide receiver and running back and flex in PPR. Terry, Achane, Bigsby, Dell, Connor, Waddle, Thomas Jr. Pretty good team. I'm always choosing the wrong things. So we need a wide receiver, running back, and a flex. So I would go Waddle, BTJ, and Achane. Would be my place there. Gator, Hater, Baker, or Tua. That one I'd go Tua there. Shane, Boogie, Mostert, or Stevenson. Mostert for me. I like Mostert this week. I think he's in a good spot against Arizona. I think he'll kind of be the guy. Hopefully what we should have expected for most of the season with Tua returning. Kyle B, Ferguson, or McBride, Smith, or Dell. I'd go McBride and Devontae Smith there for you, Kyle. D-Money, Daniels, or Tua. I'm going to play Daniels there for you if he plays. That's a struggle. I don't think the Miami game is a late window game. That's tough D-Money because if Daniels doesn't play, hopefully you have a pivot. That would be the only way I'd play Daniels. So revert to that. And I'd play Waddle over Harrison, D-Money. I think I got that for you, Derek. Should I start T. Higgins? That's a pretty easy answer. It was an old question. So, Katie Colburn, Douglas, Pitts, or Bateman for flex. I feel like I hit this for you, Katie. Coming back here. Double checking. No, we had a different one. So this one, I would go Bateman. Harambe, Hambone. Is that how you pronounce that? I think that's what that is. Devon, HM, BTJ, Tank, Dell. I'd go HM. Gerard, DC, need to. Brian Thomas Jr., Amari, or Pollard, BTJ, and Amari. Spitting in the web, Stevenson or Bigsby. I'd go Stevenson. Close, but I think I lean him a little bit. Half PPR play 1, Jacoby, McMillan, Kirk, or Tolbert. I'll go Tolbert. I like a spot one. Don't give up on him just yet. Here, Survivor fan. Loki Dog of Mischief, Debo, or Bigsby, Debo. Joe Burrow or Caleb Williams without T. I'd go Caleb. Oh, what's I there? Sal Goodman need 1 start in Plex PPR spot. Ramondre Sutton or McMillan. I'd go Sutton there. Good spot against Carolina. VCTD, Mahomes or Tua. Mahomes. Or me there. Andy Birkenkemper, Sutton, D-Hop, Kraft, or Parcell. I'd go Hop there. Roy, choose 2 between Waddle, McLaurin, and Connor. Waddle and Connor for me. Keep pounding Tank Bigsby or Jalen Warren. I'd go Tank there. Otten or Pitts for Froyoy. Pitts. Half PPR, Tank, Chuba, or Rashad. I'd go Rashad. Oh, Tashad is what I spelled. Rashad. Let's see here. Dad Bod Fantasy Football. Sit 1 of McLaurin, Tank Bigsby, or Najee Harris. Sit 1? I would go McLaurin. Yeah, I'd go McLaurin. Or no, let's go Bigsby. Sounds like Daniels is playing, so we'll go Bigsby. KL, Kirk, Irving, Douglas, Singletary. Boy. I would probably go Irving. KL. Yeah, that's probably where I'd be. Bucky. Sanqui, quarterback. May, Richardson, or Herbert. May, and then Sutton or Pittman. I would go with Sutton. Monty or Najee Harris. I'd go Monty. Trust in the touchdown. Garance, McLaurin, Bigsby, Dell, or Worthy in my flex. I'd go Dell. And then Baker or Stroud would be Stroud. And then Caleb over Purdy. Need 1 of each in a standard league. So May, Jameis, or Dax would be May. Running back, Cook or Brian Robinson would be Cook. Tight end, Ferguson or Otten would be Fergie. Wide receiver, Tillman, Parcell, or McMillan. I would go Tillman. For you there, H Cam. San, Ramondre, or Rico Dowdle. I would go Ramondre. Wicks or Odunze with Higgins out. I would play Wicks. Olave or McMillan would be Olave. C. Keenan Allen or Wandell Robinson would be Keenan Allen. Or Cole Baster, Tolbert, or Parcell would be Tolbert for me. Pick 2. Should I start? Najee Harris, Cook, or Bigsby would be Cook and Harris. For NMB 609 on X. Isaiah Cook, Connor, Brian Robinson on the bench. Isaiah, am I starting 1, 2, sitting 1? Please help me there. I'm guessing it's just picking to sit 1, Isaiah. If you could just drop that in the comment, let me know. Just so that I can give you the best options. Teddy W, choose one running back, one wide receiver, Reed, Cooper, Pollard, James Cook, or Monty. Full PPR. So Reed and for me there, Teddy. Sitting one. Okay. I'd probably sit Brian Robinson. Yeah, I'd sit Brian Robinson. Justin Capo, pick 2, Mason Jacobs or BTJ. Mason and Jacobs. I love the spot for BTJ. We just saw Green Bay kind of shred the Texans. So, yeah. Flowers or Waddle / Waddle or JSN. Confusing. But Waddle or both? I'm assuming that's 2 questions. My guess there. So I'm deciphering that, Jan. With Spears out in Tennessee, do I start Pottle or swap him in for Ramondre or Dowdle? I'll play Pollard there for Greg St. Martin on X. Herman Castillo, Dontavian Wicks, or Tank Bigsby. I'd go Wicks there. Bigsby or Chase, I would go Chase. And MHJ and Tillman would be my 2 between those 2 and McMillan for Mark Davidson. Survivor fan pick 1, McMillan, Tolbert, Jacoby, or Kirk. Probably still Tolbert there. Kirk makes it a little interesting, but still going Tolbert. Got to start a flex and a wide receiver. Ferguson, Judy, Bateman, and Hubbard would be Judy and Ferguson. Right. Duke Vang, Daniels, or Murray. I'll go Daniels by the sounds of it. He's playing, so I'm going to go with Daniels. High T, Danny, Samuel, or Pickens would be Samuel. Nick is Judy, Pittman, or Wandell. I would go with Judy there. I feel like there's my other page I'm looking for. Alrighty here. Let's see if any of these are updated. Gotta do a quick modification here, boys and gals. Alrighty, let's see here. Garrett, McLaurin or Pickens? Pickens, 40 there, Garrett. 100%. All in on George Pickens with our boy Russ at quarterback. Kevin Wheeler, flex non-PPR, Achane, Madison, or Downs. That's pretty easy. That's Achane for me, Kevin. No sweat on that one. Will I am Pickens or D-Hop? Pickens, and then leftover or Chase Brown and Brown. Steve Simmons, Jalen Waddle, or JSN would be Waddle for me. Damian, Bravo, Olave, McMillan, Tillman, Dowdle, Olave, Damian. I feel like I answered that one. I feel like some of these are older, so I'm sure people circle back. But Big Lou, Stroud, or Baker would be Stroud, and 2 flexes between Bateman, Tolbert, Ramondre, and Hill would be Tolbert and Bateman. Nigel, Chuba Hubbard, or Bucky Irving. I know Hubbard is preferred, but I think Bucky could be hard to take it out. Flowers or McLaurin for Eric would be Flowers. Tua, Purdy, or Cousins today would be Cousins. For Colton on X. Ben, Kyle Pitts, or Tucker Kraft would be Pitts. Knicks or Dak for Trevor. I would go Dak, and then start 3, Stevenson, Pop, Douglas, Tillman, or Pittman. Stevenson, Tillman, Douglas. KH, lots of wide receivers injuries on my team and half PPR. Which 3 would you play? Calvin Ridley, Tolbert, Wicks, Christian Watson, Bateman, or Cole Kmet. So I would say Tolbert, Wicks, Kmet. Eric, Tracy, or Braylon Allen would be Tracy. Start, sit, Knicks, or Murray. I would go Murray. Marcy, Hill, Mostert, or Irving would be Mostert. Laporta or Kmet would be Kmet. Flowers. And Shakir would be my plays out of Flowers, Shakir, Paracel, or Coleman. Justin, Tucker Kraft, or McBride would be McBride. Yeah. Tillman, Mooney, Wicks, or Coleman would be Mooney. I got to start 2 of them, so that would be Mooney and Tillman. Let's see here. Let's see. Should I flex Flowers or pick up Yoshevis? Just play Flowers with no T. Higgins. Gon Suarez, Brian Robinson Jr., or Montgomery. I'd go Brian Robinson Jr. there. Okay. Twitter just acted up. We got to find our spot. Where were we? Okay. Baseline Junkies. Yes, I could have missed your question. My apologies if I did. Full PPR, running back, Hunt, Jonathan Taylor, Brian Robinson, Chase Brown. I think I got that, but I could be wrong. Hunt and JT for me there. Baseline Junkies. A lot of questions this morning, so I apologize if I missed it. I am circling back, and I will find all of them, hopefully. Murphy's Law, Mayfield, or Mahomes. Mahomes. PDX, Viking, Douglas, or Tolbert. I would go Tolbert. Let's see here. Jeremy, JSN, Flowers, or Dell. I would go Dell. there. Huda Mike hurting at wide receiver, McMillan, Douglas, or Pearsall. I'd go McMillan there. David, I forgot about you. Coming back in. D-Hop or Keenan Allen would be Keenan Allen, David. I'd like the spot for him against Washington. PPR, D-Hop, Keenan Allen, Downs, or Worthy. Keenan Allen again, David. Trust in the Keenan Allen. Rob, Chase Brown, or Tyler Lockett. I would go Brown. Kevin, definitely Jif peanut butter and peanut all the way. Almost not bad, but definitely peanut. Tim Riggins, JSN or Harrison. I would go JSN. Would I start Kyler or Russell Wilson? I would go Kyler. Harris, Weinstein, Watson, Komet, Pearsall, Yoshevich. I would go Yoshevich and Komet there. We got that one for you, D Money. JSN, McMillan, or Tolbert would be JSN for E-D and Famous 440. We got Pollard versus Neighbors. That one is Neighbors for me, Ken. Bo Worley, Down, Sutton, or Watson, and my flex would be Sutton. Justin, Tua, or CJ would be CJ. Steven, start Jaden Daniels or start Tua. Mark Andrews or Schultz. Right here. K-Man corner, Tua or Daniels. I would probably, the only reason I'm saying Tua is I just think that I don't know if Daniels really plays. Like, I know it says he's likely to play, but let's be honest. He didn't practice all week. I mean, I know we don't see offense. Like, it's not the end of the world. But, like, I think I'd just play Tua. And we've seen these injuries bite us in the butt multiple times this year. Who do I have for the Super Bowl? If you're talking about this year. Bills, maybe? No. I would love it to be the Bills, Brian. I don't really. I think the Vikings could get there. It's pretty interesting this year. It's kind of a mess all over the place. I did bet the Bills to win it earlier in the off season, so I'll stick with the Bills, I guess. We'll see. Chris Wicks, Pollard, or Bigsby, and McConkey or McLaurin, or McConkey or McMillan. I would probably still go Bigsby over Pollard, Chris, and then McConkey over McMillan. Alfredo Martinez, Ray Davis, Singletary, or should I pick up Duke Johnson off waivers? Need a second running back, and I've been able to trade one. If it's not Duke and it's actually D'Ernest Alfredo, I would go with D'Ernest over Ray Davis and Singletary. Higgins is out. Douglas, Tolbert, Tillman, or Komet. I would go with Tolbert there. Romy, one more. Superflex, Lamar hurt. Marlove Hurts. I need a third flex. Hurts and Yosha Glass. That was a confusing one. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You're welcome, Chris. Aaron, Dak, or Tua? I would go Tua there, Aaron. Kendrick Lamar. I'm not gonna lie to you. I secretly don't listen to a ton of music. I'm a weirdo. I know, Ryan. Weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I always like the halftime shows. Like to see if they're good or not. More so from other people who tell me it's good or not. Yeah, I don't listen to a ton of music, to be honest. I kind of just listen to sports radio. I'm a weirdo. Don't worry. So yeah, I'm not a huge music buff, sadly. Sorry to burst the bubble there, Ryan. Let's see here. What was this? Let's see here. Brendan Fain, we got Reed and JSN in asking if you should play anybody else over them. Nope. Mitch would be Burrow or Tua. I would go Burrow. There for you, Mitch. Loki, Dog of Mischief. Would you play Bigby over Montgomery or Hunt? No. Zay Flowers or Najee? I would go Najee there, Paul. Robert McLean, Wilson, BTJ, Dobbins, pick 2. Wilson and Dobbins for me. Hamash would be Dell, or Harrison would be Dell. Let's see here. One second. Good old Twitter, being Twitter. So my one big pet peeve is whenever you leave the page, it seems like Twitter likes to lose it all for me. Okay, so where were we? Chris, triple stack with Dak, Lamb, and Ferguson, or roll with who is PLO? Oh, Pollard. Okay, Chris, I see it down here. I'd roll a triple stack. I don't love Tony Pollard today. Aaron, Wilson, Thomas, Pickens, bench 1. Probably Brian Thomas, sadly, but I think that would be the play there, Aaron. With Higgins out, do I start Bateman or Leggett? Go with Bateman, Sean. Leggett with Bryce Young, no go for me. K-Man corner, Flowers or Waddle would be Waddle for me. Yeah, I guess you could call me an old schooler. You know, I really only listened to music when I was younger, so yeah, I guess. And even then, didn't listen to a ton of it. Wasn't really my jive. So I know I'm weird. I'm telling you, I'm a weirdo. Rocky, you really like Stevenson over Madison. A bit nervous. So Madison against the Chiefs is not a good day, Rocky. That's why. Dowdle over Tolbert. Tolbert for me. Okay. Aaron Sly, Mooney, Waddle, or Madison pick 2. Mooney and whoops, Waddle and Mason. Let's see here. Ravi Patel, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, George Pickens start 2 out of 3. Sit Wilson. Brandy, Laporta, or Henry. I would go Laporta and Brown. Then Chase Brown or Bigsby, I would go Brown. Dowdle, Sutton, or Wicks, half PPR. I would go Dowdle, I guess. Dan Sminek, Murray, or Burrow would be Burrow. And Irving or Madison would be Irving for me. Let's see here. Last one, then Thomas or Chubb, Brian Robinson or Waddle. Thomas over Chubb, and then Waddle over Brian Robinson Jr. And you're welcome, David. I don't know if I hit this, but I think it's Waddle came in. I don't remember if I did. So I'm going to just pop it back up there. Cass Kissam, Tony Pollard, or Dontavian Wicks in my flex. Taysom Hill, Mark Andrews. I would go Pollard and Andrews. Chubb or Bigsby this week. I'd go Bigsby there. Still ain't in on the Nick Chubb train just yet. Jeff Nickel need 3 wide receivers. I have Chase, McLaurin, Brian Thomas, JSN, Dukes, Bateman, and Allen. He's already playing Chase, Thomas, and JSN. I would do that as well. Greg with Higgins out. I need to start 2 of Ridley, Oshavis, Myers, Tolbert, Vic, Shepard. I would go Tolbert and probably Oshavis. Greg. Kevin Wheeler, Dak, Cousins, or pick up May or Wilson. I would go Cousins. I like the spot for him. Bill Wandell or Chase Brown and flex. I'd go Robinson, and I would go Pitts over Otten. One more, sorry. Look, I don't know what I'm doing here. Flowers or Harrison Jr., I would go Flowers. Dubes or Mooney, and Fergie or Otten. I would go Mooney over Dubes, and I would go Ferguson over Otten. Anonymous. Both Pittman or Wait or still question. Jacoby, I saw from Scheffner, it says he's likely to play with Jacoby. So I'd probably play Jacoby there. David Jolson, Higgins out, JSN, Paracel, Shakir. JSN. Dave. We are closing in. Time flies when we're having fun. It's almost 12:30. Start Chuba, Denver, Pittman, Paracel. I would go Chuba there. Don't love either of those options, so Jerry. Uh, David Ellett, Madison, or Mondre. I would go with Mondre. There. Bo Worthy, Smith, or Patty Mahomes. I would go Smith there. Kyle Delamonier, Yoshevis, or McMillan would be Yoshevis. Standard non-PPR, Bucky Irving or Dell. Pick one would be Dell for Cactus Carl. Otten or Chuba Hubbard would be Otten. Ryan Morris, Tua or Caleb Williams would be Caleb for me. Brad Ziegler, Superflex pick 2, Achan, Bigsby, Monty, Herbert, or Pickens. It would be Achan and Pickens for me. Amanda Rea, Monty, or Hubbard. Play Monty for me there, especially standard. Got to sit one of Ridley, Keenan Allen, Dupes, or McMillan. McMillan. Ridley. Actually. Orange Pang, it is Ridley. I still can't trust it. Until they can actually get him the ball, I ain't playing Ridley. Ain't doing it. Imagine an interpreter. Is JSN the move with no DK? Yes. Play JSN over Shakir. I like Shakir, but David, do I start Neighbors or Adams? I would go Neighbors. I think we'll bounce back game from him a little bit. It might be a struggle against that Pittsburgh pass rush, but hopefully we're all right. Let's see here. Pick 2, Jacobs, Dobbins, or Bigsby. I would sit Bigsby. There for Coco on X. Puda, Mike, Bigsby, or White would be White. Mark Andrews or Zach Ertz for Bill would be Andrews. Cole Kmet or Andrews would be Kmet for me. Start to BTJ, Adams, Bigsby, McLaurin, and Waddle. I would say Adams and Waddle. David Adams or Achan would be Adams. Yeah, no, Dupes is always the guy. I mean, play Dupes, that's fine. I know I mentioned, I don't remember if I told you Mooney or Dupes. They're both very similar to me. I like Romeo Dupes a lot. I have a lot of Romeo Dupes because people, for some reason, don't like Romeo Dupes in fantasy drafts. So, yeah, definitely a good play there in Romeo. Alrighty, well, it is 12:20. I started a little early. We got a lot of questions in. I feel like a lot of the questions I caught up with on X. I have caught up with all the ones here on YouTube as well. So I'm going to circle back here and see if I got all of these other questions to make sure that I get all of you answered, because that's what I'm here for. Omar sliding here at the end. Pick 2, Cooper Adams or Devontae Smith. I would go Cooper and Adams. All right, Billy, before we get out of here, I'll get you as well. Let's see here. Chase Brown or Tucker Kraft in flex? I'd go Chase Brown, Billy. Tucker Kraft's really kind of a touchdown-dependent tight end at this point. Could he score? Yeah, probably, maybe. Who knows? But I like Chase Brown. I think he's kind of taking over the lead there. I think he'll be pretty highly involved there this week against Philadelphia. They looked a little bit better against the run last week, but hopefully we see a good day out of Chase Brown. All righty. Well, it is 12:30, so I'm going to dip out of here. I appreciate all of you coming and hanging out. It's a great time. Hopefully I answered the questions. Hopefully more are right than wrong. That's what we're shooting for, right? If I could, I'd hope that they're all right. I don't know if that will happen. That would be wild. I'd be impressed. I'd probably just have to retire from doing all this if I ever was 100%. So make sure you toss me a follow at Popes FFH. If I haven't answered a question, obviously I'm getting off now. If you have another question, you can head on over to X, drop it into the thread that I have going over there. I'll try to get it here before 1 p.m., but I got a couple things to tie up here before those games start. So if I don't get to it, I do apologize. If you have a 4 o'clock question, you toss me that at any point. I will try to get to those as well through the 1 o'clock window as well. If not, good luck. Hopefully we get most of these right. Hopefully we all get some wins out there. And we continue to have ourselves a good season moving forward. So until next week, make sure you check out at ftnfantasy.com. Tons of great content, tons of great stats, tons of great information to help you make these decisions for yourselves as well. It's just great content and football information to entertain. We also do basketball. We do hockey. We do it all. So head on over there. Check that out at ftnfantasy.com. That's where you can find all my stuff, all my rankings as well. So definitely head on over there and check that out. Toss me a follow at Popes FFH as well as at FTN Fantasy, which you're probably watching this on if you're on X. If you're on YouTube, that's where we're at FTN Fantasy. Is also our Twitter handle, X Twin handle, whatever it's called nowadays. So head on over there and check that out. And until next week, thanks for tuning in and catch you on the other side.